Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. I had a really good time myself. Um, your boy's back at it, making a fool of himself, Wes Watson. We're gonna have to have another conversation about it, unfortunately. So I don't know if you guys saw his last video on how he'll never ever apologize for how he made an absolute fool of himself on the Fresh and Fit podcast. So Wes is clearly feeling the heat. He's clearly seeing all these videos because he references, not by name, but as a group, he references people that are making videos with his name in the title and hating on people and, referencing, the Fresh and Fit podcast and basically doubling down on his behavior here. And here's the thing, again, we have to approach this with a nuanced perspective. It can't be a black or white, all on, all off, type of approach. The substance of what Wes Watson was saying, I agree with, 90% of what the guy says. I think he's got a lot right philosophically, but the problem is that the way he goes about it and the way that he conducts himself, that's very ineffective and it's counterproductive in my opinion. Look, here's the thing. Not everybody is going to value what you value. I have a friend that's worth $50 million. The guy drives, a nice car, drives a nice Audi, but he's not driving the most expensive car he could afford because he just doesn't give a shit. He's not a car guy. So, rolling up in a Rolls Royce just doesn't really interest him. Not because he can't buy one cash, but because he just doesn't give a shit. So, certain things, certain people value certain things. Certain people, like what success means to certain people is very different. I personally, agree a lot with Wes. I do think, we should, as men, should be in shape. We should have an attractive wife. We should have, nice things. But that's not. But that doesn't mean that if somebody doesn't embody that they're not successful in their own eyes. Again, the fitness thing to me is really a non-negotiable for myself. But again, sometimes you can be really fit, but somebody else is not, and they have a skill set or a talent or an expertise in something that you don't have because they place more importance in that other thing. And I think that's really what Andrew Wilson was just trying to say. So the thing that Wes doesn't understand is that it's not that what he was saying was so problematic. It's the fact of how he went about doing it. He made himself out to be a bully. And really the reason that Wes Watson started going at Andrew Wilson and attacking his character, in my opinion, is not because of the way that Andrew Wilson disagreed with him, but because Andrew Wilson was proving to be operating on an intellectual level that Wes Watson just can't operate on. And so he felt he felt threatened that the guy's not impressed with all his bullshit. B, he's operating on an intellectual level that Wes just can't fucking get on. And so Wes felt threatened. He felt threatened and, he bitched out. He acted like, he was rich and receding in status, receding in followers, receding in respectability, receding in credibility. And the guy just doubles down because, he doesn't have any humility. Any little bit of humility that dude had on the park bench has gone out the fucking window and into the Pacific Ocean out there in California. I mean, this guy is an egomaniac, and what's going to happen now, you're going to see it, is that certain people that Wes claims are his people are going to start dropping off because, they're going to see that although the guy has a lot of great things to say, the way that he conducts himself, being a bully, it just turns everybody off. And there's a lot of people that do agree with what Wes says, but don't agree with how he goes about saying it or approaching people. And that's just the way. That's just the bottom line. He says he'll never apologize. He's talking shit about all of his followers, or I'm not followers, or all of us content creators that we're making videos about him just to get clickbait. But here's the thing, dude. Even if that's the truth, which maybe it is, maybe it isn't. That's for people that people can have an opinion one way or the other. What people are saying about Wes is true. It's very valid criticism. So I mean, you can say whatever you want, Wes Watson. The fact is that you're a fucking asshole. You're a piece of shit. You're a bully. You're on steroids and you don't admit it. And you surround yourself with weak yes men who just tell you whatever you want to hear. And when push comes to shove, you can't take any heat. You crack under pressure. You crack under pressure. Many people that were in the California prison system are calling you out, saying that you bullshitted and lied about your prison history and the fact that you're a shot caller and all the other bullshit that you did. Again, to me, that's still not going to take away from the value of a lot of things that you have said that I do agree with, but you really diminish yourself and diminish your value as a man and as someone who has a message by being a bully. Nobody likes a bully. There's people in MMA, pro fighters who have literally become an MMA fighter because they got bullied and because they hate bullies so much. So it's something that is just like a bully is somebody that nobody likes. Nobody likes. From the loser kid in high school who's sitting along the lunch table to the most popular person in the school. A bully is a weak person. A bully usually finds something that somebody has that they don't, and they're angry that no matter how big or how bad or how strong or how much they can intimidate somebody, they can't. There's something that person has. It could be intellect, it could be smart, it could be it could be some skill, some peace, some personality traits, some inner confidence that they have that person covets, and they bully and they pick on that person because that's all that Wes Watson is. Anything that he says, and it's really sad but the wisdom behind all of this is really that somebody can have a very sound philosophy and say a lot of great things that are that a lot of people can agree with and can get behind, because I do think that we should strive to be to live in a manner of excellence, as across the board as possible. However, that's not always doable, but we should strive to do everything that we do as excellent as we can. I definitely agree with that way of looking at life, but we're also going to be judged by how we treat other people, and I've met some people that are at the top of their game in many different industries, and one thing is that they're good human beings. They treat people with a certain level of respect, even if they know that they're nowhere near where they are in terms of their personal accomplishments. I bring it kind of back to martial arts. My jiu-jitsu instructor has been teaching for he's been doing jiu-jitsu for 50 odd years. He's world renowned. He's just one of the most respectful, classy, humble human beings that I've ever met. And I've met a lot of other people that are at the top of their game. They're very successful, and they treat people very well. And I think that's a part of having class. That's a part of being somebody of excellence. It's not just about the money and the cars and the girls. Like that's surface level stuff. I mean, obviously, you know, it takes a certain level of of excellence and hard work to get there. There's no doubt about it. But you know, you can't look past how a man treats other people, especially people that are below him. You know, it's usually criticism comes from below. So the fact that you know Wes Watson goes off and blows a gasket on Andrew Wilson tells me something, that there's something he subconscious, and he'll never admit it, but he is afraid of Andrew Wilson. He's afraid there's something that Andrew Wilson has that Wes Watson can't take, and he's angry about it. And he tried to do that, but he got himself taken for a goddamn fool. And it's important that we all recognize the lessons in this, so that we can implement that into our daily life and be better men. So that's all I gotta say. But this guy is beyond reproach. He's incorrigible. There's no getting through to a person like this. Wes is the type of person that will need to lose it all, and a lot of people said he's probably on his way out, and he'll have to lose it all. He'll have to lose it all until he finally gains some real true wisdom, not just bumper sticker logic. Because somebody can sound really great, somebody can sound very wise, like Wes can, but then when they make a complete ass of themselves on when they're really tested, and he wasn't even really tested. It wasn't like Andrew Wilson was being combative with him. He just simply had a difference of opinion. But we really see that Wes is a weak man. He's a weak man. He's an emotional man, and he's a dangerous man. Not because he's such a badass, but because when you have a man that's emotional and that can't control his emotions, that's a man that will fly off the handle. And it's completely within reason to assume that he's been abusive to women. That's why he kind of goes through girlfriends like people go through toilet paper. The guy is unhinged. The guy is out of control, and I think it's only a matter of time until he finds himself back in a prison cell, or facing a DV or something, because what we saw on the Fresh and Fit podcast was just a snapshot view of, I think, a much larger problem. And that larger problem is the fact that you have somebody who's let the money get to their head, and now that they've been called out by I don't even know how many people on YouTube, he still can't man the fuck up and just admit that he was a fucking asshole. I think that's morally reprehensible. He's more interested in protecting his brand and his image than standing up for the right thing. And this man should not be followed by anybody. He is Wes Watson is a liability. Wes Watson is the exact type of guy that would go off on somebody and get himself in a lot of trouble. And it's only a matter of time till that guy's gonna find himself in a lot of trouble. So, like anything else. I mean, Andrew Wilson really was the example. Just let the guy talk. Let him. Wes Watson will bury himself. Wes Watson is Wes Watson's own worst enemy, and he'll end up burying himself. I guarantee it. He's already cracking under the pressure of all of his haters. He's making his videos about his haters instead of his message, and that really shows. That shows you everything you already need to know. He's already cracking under the pressure. So stay tuned for more videos. The best thing that Wes can do is just humble himself, but he'll never do it. And we'll just keep making fun of the beta boy, white trash, rich and receding. So we'll just keep on monitoring what he does, and we'll keep on having an ongoing discussion of the downfall one of the internet's big fugazi internet gurus. I'm out, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.